A high school in Santa Clarita ends with 2 fatalities. More in our lead report.
And Thursday night football game ended with an aggressive contact.
And which legend is named the sexiest man alive? Tune in for entertainment.
Brief warming trend, but changes are heading our way. What could we expect? Details coming up.
Welcome to this week's edition of Newscene. I'm Yakira Delgadillo.
And I'm Jesus Lopez. Newscene starts now.
We start tonight with the latest on the impeachment hearings. The former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine has testified in the second day of public hearing. Marie Yovovich says she was a victim of a smear campaign. She says it was led by President Trump's attorney Rudy Giuliani and foreign corrupt interests in Ukraine. She calls the situation a very painful period.
Since the prior summer. As Mr. Sullivan recently recounted during his Senate confirmation hearing, neither he nor anyone else ever explained or sought to justify the president's concerns about me. Nor did anyone in the department justify my early departure by suggesting I had done something wrong.
While she testified, President Trump was tweeting attacks directed at the former ambassador. Democrats have accused Trump of witness intimidation, which the White House quickly denied.
And now Shonda Walker has more on our recent school shooting. Take it, Shonda.
Thank you, Jesus. There has been another tragic mass shooting, this time in Los Angeles suburbs of Santa Clarita. Students were arriving to school when a 16-year-old pulled a gun from his backpack and opened fire in a busy quad at Saugus High School. The teenage shooter killed 2 fellow students and wounded 3 others. Surveillance cameras showed the shooter pulling a semi-automatic pistol right before the attack. Law enforcement officials have said the gunman is in grave condition due to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators are still searching for a motive. Students have recently completed drills for an active shooting, but a teacher involved says no amount of training can truly prepare someone. Locally, Vista parents and teachers protested at a school board meeting where board members voted to remove school resource officers due to budget cuts last night. One teacher reminded the board of earlier school shootings like Columbine, Parkland, and Sandy Hook when asking for cuts to be reconsidered. The district needs to cut $16 million from next year's budget. According to CNN, Saugus is the 44th attack this year. That is nearly 1 school shooting a week. 32 of those shootings occurred at elementary and high schools. The Center for Homeland and Defense Security database tracks each time a gun is shown or fired at a school property. Between 2010 and 2019, more than 400 shooting incidents have occurred at shootings nationwide. Of those shootings, 3/4 of them took place during school hours. Gun critics are pushing for changes. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Shonda, and our thoughts, prayers, and best wishes to those affected by this tragedy. Moving on. San Diego State University is mourning the death of a student after he allegedly attended a fraternity event. 19-year-old Dylan Hernandez of Jacksonville, Florida, was found unresponsive in his room after falling from his dorm room elevated bunk bed. It remains unclear if alcohol was a factor in his death. According to the Daily Aspect, the freshman attended an event at the Phi Gamma Delta House. SDSU President Adela de la Torre has suspended 14 fraternities and launched 2 task forces to oversee student activities, safety, and substance abuse.
Fraternity politics in general are super closed door. 10 out of the 14 IFC affiliated fraternities were under investigation or under suspension before Dylan died.
Now for more news out of D.C., Out of D.C., this time with Supreme Court, the federal program protecting dreamers from deportation is at risk of being shut down. It could affect thousands. The Supreme Court gathered to vote Tuesday on the future of the program. During the hearings, several dreamers protested outside with signs saying they are home. Now the decision could lie with Chief Justice John Roberts for the decisive vote on the matter.
Democratic leaders are calling on senior White House advisor to resign due to leaked white nationalist emails. Stephen Miller's emails were leaked by former Breitbart writer Katie McHugh, who corresponded with him in 2015 and 2016. According to the reports, the emails contain xenophobic remarks, anti-immigration ideology, and pushed for a white nationalist literature. Miller is frequently credited with some of the Trump administration's more extreme immigration policies.
Now, if you're a traveler or privacy advocates are celebrating tonight, a new ruling prevents the search of international travelers' phones and laptops without a warrant at the U.S. ports of entry. A U.S. district judge ruled in favor of 11 travelers Tuesday who sued federal agencies like Customs and Border Patrol. It was determined that the searches violate travelers' Fourth Amendment rights. The ACLU says searches have tripled under the Trump administration.
Protests have erupted in Bolivia after a leading senator declared himself the provisional president of the country. Janine Áñez takes over for Evo Morales, who resigned from his position after 14 years in power. Protesters carrying the indigenous flag in support of Morales had a brief confrontation with the police. Mexico has offered Morales political asylum.
And moving to Hong Kong, a second death has been confirmed as violence between protesters and police continues. The nearly 6-month demonstration over a now withdrawn extradition bill is leading to more injuries and death. China's president says he is working to stop the violence and that it's challenging to the idea of one country, two systems.
Trades and returns happening this very moment. Stick around to find out the score coming up in sports.
Trades and returns happening this very moment. Stick around to find out more coming up in sports.
Sports,
sports
yes,
it is.
Sports it is. Sports is coming up right next.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Dozens of officers in San Diego County have been found guilty of crimes, and those officers are still on the job. A massive new database has been built from public records requested by multiple news agencies like Voice of San Diego. It includes a list of nearly 12,000 cops and applicants along with their offenses. Violations are ranging from sexual assault to manslaughter.
Airbnb is facing pressure after a couple found hidden cameras in their rental. Last year, a couple staying at a San Diego Airbnb found hidden cameras above their bed and inside their bed and in the bathroom. According to NBC7, the couple filed a lawsuit against the host of the rental last week for privacy invasion, emotional distress, and distribution of sexually explicit material.
City of San Diego officials say they will not sell smart streetlight data to third parties. That is a reversal from earlier statements about the data collected by the streetlights owned by the City of San Diego. This comes after the city attorney candidate Corey Briggs alleged the lights are a violation of people's privacy. The smart sensors record and collect data on parking, pedestrian count, and temperature.
Now to Otay Mesa, where the church chicken has reopened a week after one worker was killed and 2 more were injured. With no surveillance cameras at the time of the shooting, the restaurant is now equipped with 10 new cameras. A picture of a young woman who was killed, Maribel Merino Ibanez, also remains in the establishment.
Sweeping blackouts imposed by several of California's electric companies, including San Diego Gas and Electric, are causing unexpected issues. Several cell phone towers have lost power, leaving many without a way to contact each other or 911. Verizon and AT&T and other carriers have said they were working to minimize disruptions.
SDSU had to cancel classes earlier this week due to a power outage. But unlike the planned power outages making news, this one was caused by a bird hitting the transmission equipment. The school posted an announcement on its website about the cancellation of classes through Wednesday morning. At its height, 24,000 residents were affected.
Now to Ocean Beach, where police were stepping in and up their patrols of the popular OB Wednesday Jam. The policing comes after a numerous noise and safety complaints from neighbors about unregulated fire performers. The event was once considered an open community practice space for the flow and circus artists. But in recent months, it has become known for loud DJ music, alcohol, and dangerous tricks with fire. However, regardless of being patrolled, the community keeps its traditional drumming and LED spinning into late hours of the evening. Flow artist A.J. Warren spoke about the police patrols.
Asked the police officer if we could spit fire tonight. They said absolutely not, due to a lot of complaints from the neighborhood and people that it's gotten too big and dangerous. We're not allowed to do it anymore. So yeah.
Now we switch to the sports from Carmelo Anthony to Colin Kaepernick. Find out the latest right now with sports. Vicky, take it.
Thanks, Jesus and Jakira. We start with a foot brawl in last night's NFL game between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With 8 seconds remaining in the game, Cleveland had a healthy 21-7 lead over the Steelers. But after the play, a late hit by Browns defensive end Myles Garrett on Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph got physical. Garrett even used Rudolph's own helmet to hit the 24-year-old who already has a history of concussions. Garrett has been suspended indefinitely, and Rudolph's agent is not ruling out possible legal action. And speaking of the NFL, Colin Kaepernick will be working out in front of the NFL personnel this weekend. Kaepernick has been out of football since 2016 when he opted out of his contract with the 49ers. You may remember it was Kaepernick who was the first to kneel during the national anthem in protest of police brutality. 11 teams will be attending the workout, including the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The private workouts will be held tomorrow in Atlanta. And Carmelo Anthony is back after taking a year off from the NBA. Anthony will sign a non-guaranteed deal with Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers have tried signing Carmelo in the past and were unsuccessful until this year. Portland lost its previous 2 games. They are now on the bottom of the Western Conference standings with a record of 4-8. And now to soccer. Landon Donovan will become the first manager of the new professional soccer team in San Diego, the Loyal. Donovan is part of the United Soccer League Champions, which kicks off its first season in 2020. This will be his first head coach position of a professional team. Donovan is currently completing his U.S. soccer coaching license, and the USL awarded San Diego an expansion team in June. The club will host tryouts in December and begin training camp in January. And closer to home, the San Diego City College women's basketball team played its first home game last night. The Knights hosted the Orange Coast College in the Knights Invitational Tourney. The Knights won 85-42 and are now 3-4. The Knights will play tonight against Porterville and tomorrow against Cuesta College. And in other sports encampments, in men's soccer, Dalton Keeney has been selected as the Conference Athlete of the Month. In men's basketball, the Knights won their 4th straight game against Saddleback in the Knights Invitational Tourney. The men are traveling to Citrus College next. Well, that's all I have for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Vicki. That was very interesting. It's the comeback. You have Colin Kaepernick, Carmelo Anthony, Landon Donovan. They're all coming back.
A lot to do this weekend, I guess.
And Netflix has competition now.
Find out who's making headlines in the streaming. All that after the break.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
E-cigarette maker Juul is laying off employees and cutting its costs. The company is cutting 150 jobs from the marketing department. The move comes due to the heightened scrutiny surrounding vaping. Several states are moving to ban e-cigarettes.
Over in Chicago, we are looking at the world's largest.
The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops have elected its first Latino leader. Archbishop Jose Gomez will now serve as president of the group that is more than 100 years old. He will replace Cardinal Daniel DiNardo, who was the Archbishop of Galveston, Houston. Gomez vows to defend immigrants amid fears of deportation.
The San Diego Asian Film Festival continues. Our very own Lady Kine has the report. Lady, take it.
We had a really great year with Crazy Rich Asians, The Farewell, and many Asian Americans behind the camera and in front of the camera.
The San Diego Asian Film Festival is celebrating its 20th anniversary. And for the first time, the festival has produced its own movie called The Paradise We're Looking For, a film of 4 short documentaries highlighting Asian American stories. To celebrate its 20th anniversary, the festival is also bringing the films out of the archives and back into the community. This year, the festival will introduce the film canon created by Brian Hugh in conjunction with the Los Angeles Times, the Union Tribune's sister paper.
He's created this canon to catapult not just the visibility of the festival, but the work of these makers. And I think it's a point of pride for the community.
The festival has grown into the largest exhibition of Asian cinema in the Western United States. And this year, it's showcasing over 170 films from 29 countries and 40 languages at 8 different venues in San Diego.
These films that we have access to over this festival, they're amazing, and to see people in one room coming together to experience stories together, and then also to have like dialogues after it, it's an amazing experience.
The festival continues through tomorrow. Check it out. Don't miss the opportunity to witness and become the part of the celebration. I'm Lydia Kina for Newscene.
Thank you, Lida, for that package. And to give us a little bit more of entertainment, she's back on the screen. Lida, take it.
Hi. John Legend. That's wrong. The prompter. John Legend is tickled by a title he has, and the latest from Disney coming up next within entertainment. It's been a very busy week, and for music and film lovers as well, a lot of celebrations across the country and all the same week. Country music's best and brightest were honored on Wednesday night at the 53rd Annual CMA Awards in Nashville, Tennessee. Nominees and winners were selected by more than 7,500 industry professionals from the Country Music Association. Carrie Underwood hosted the night alongside country music legends Reba McEntire and Dolly Parton. Bachelorette star Hannah Brown and her Dancing with the Stars partner Alan Burstyn attended the awards as well. They both looked stunning, as breathtaking on the red carpet as they do on the dance floor. Hannah Brown wore a stunning floor-length white dress with mosaic pattern, while Alan paired a striped shirt with black pants and a black jacket. I'm in love with that dress. But wait, there is more exciting news for Bachelor Nation. On Sunday night, Hannah Brown took home the award for the competition contestant of 2019 at the People's Choice Awards, and she beat both exes, Tella Cameron, and they both were in the audience. While the stars of country were being honored for their music, another famous singer is being recognized for something very different. John Legend has been announced for People magazine as sexiest man alive. The All of Me singer says he was just as shocked as anyone and has even made jokes of it. He tweeted a 1995 photo of himself and last year's winner Idris Ilda in comparison. And of course, Legend's wife and Twitter's trendsetter Chrissy Teigen made sure to have plenty of fun with it as well. Look for Legend's 2019 cover on Newsstand starting today. And more awards, this time in NASA world, for the 4 African American women who were portrayed in the 2016 film Hidden Figures received congressional gold medals, the highest civilian awards in the United States. Engineers Christine Darden and Mary Jackson, as well as mathematician Katherine Johnson and computer programmer Dorothy Vaughan, were awarded gold medals. Vaughan and Jackson will receive their honor posthumously. An online streaming subscription service, Disney Plus, is now live. Disney Plus includes nearly 500 movies and 7,500 TVs. Well, that's all I have for today. Back to you at the desk.
Well, that was very interesting, and congratulations, John Legend, for being the sexiest man alive. Now, a low pressure will be heading our way, and would it bring some stable weather? We have that after the break.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Oh, Vanessa. You gonna text her back?
Nope. I'm high. I'm gonna hit the treadmill.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
We need to go meet the guys. I'm lit. Can you drive?
Nope. I'm high. How about they come over?
Where?
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
2/3 of the country are covered in ice as an Arctic blast is producing record-breaking cold. The blast reached the middle of the country with cold winds and temperatures of 32 degrees or below. Officials say at least 5 deaths have been linked to poor travel conditions due to this weather. It is expected to stay throughout the weekend and with these low temperatures. But it's slightly warmer today, but big changes are coming. Rain is in our forecast, and Jesus has more on the details.
Oh, I do have a lot of the details. It was cold. It's all blamed to a cold front that was heading our way. But this cold front is changing things around, especially from the Midwest all the way to the Southeast. But here locally, temperatures will be continued to warm up. We do have the outlook here just for you. Warmer temperatures and rain chances are increasing. I'll tell you about the rain chances as we continue with our forecast. Cooler and breezy conditions as well, all because of a low pressure. This first low pressure brought us cool weather, and the cold front is already towards the southeast and impacting that area. But rain chances are increasing because we do have a second low pressure heading our way starting early next week. I'll have those details as we continue. As we look to our national forecast, we do have some nice temperatures in the Midwest after that cold front sweep through. You can see a lot of cloudiness toward the southeast region, southeast meaning Florida, Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina and South Carolina. That's where the cold front is right now in the southern states. Is creating some rain and also some breezy conditions. To the northeast, cold temperatures. For us here, we do have coastal clouds. They will continue that way as we have a low pressure. That low pressure will travel towards the west. That means by Sunday, it's out of the question. A high pressure will build in our region, expanding. That means a lot of sun and warmer temperatures. When we have a high pressure is what they do. It's just beautiful weather, and those conditions will continue to warm up. Today's temperatures, hey, they were in the low to upper 60s, 63 for Del Mar, 67 was our high here in San Diego, and for the mountains and also for the desert, a little bit of cool, but those temperatures will continue to increase by later in the weekend, especially by Sunday. They will be 10 to 15 degrees or warmer. So if you're doing any outdoor activities this weekend, I suggest you do so. But before you do so, make sure you're staying hydrated. Wear a lot of sunscreen because the sun will be in the forecast. Our current temperatures for tonight in the coast in the mid-50s. So if you're heading out to downtown, make sure you're grabbing a sweater before you head out. Especially our ladies, they get a little cold out there. Inland, 50, and it will be patchy fog as the marine layer will continue to roll in. For the mountain, it will be clear. Temperatures in the upper 40s. Cooler in the desert, temperatures in the 50s. So overall, we do have that little bit of feel of winter. Not here yet, but hey, conditions are cooling. Now, our 5-day forecast, Saturday and Sunday. Sunday will be the warmest of them all with plenty of sunshine. Low temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Now, late Tuesday, listen to this, that's when we have those rain chances. That's the low pressure continues to make its way down. Now, increasing for Wednesday into Thursday, but we'll see where this low pressure heads, how strong it will be, and how much moisture will it bring. So we'll see after Tuesday, and that will be all for weather, Yakita. So we'll see how it continues.
Yes, winter is coming, so I'm definitely waiting. I am very excited about that hot chocolate.
Yes,
Now moving on to something a little bit different. A senior Trump administration official is under investigation by Congress for exaggerating her qualifications on her resume.
Wow.
Mina Chang, an official in the Bureau of Conflict and Stability Operations, was caught making several overblown claims about her education and career highlights. These include her presence on a UN panel and her image on what has been called a fake cover of Time magazine.
Wow, that's a complicated mess. That is just not something I want to deal with. Well, thank you for tuning into this week's edition of Newscene. I'm Jesus Lopez.
And I'm Yakita Delgadillo. Enjoy your weekend.